Yep, we are. We're based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. That's our main location.
So you're an entrepreneur. Was this your first business?
Well, it wasn't my first. I fired my boss, I would say, about 13 years ago. Um, I spent a lot of time honing my skills in marketing and business development in corporate America. And, after cutting my teeth in marketing and helping a lot of other businesses achieve their dream of entrepreneurship, um, I decided to launch my own business. Started with Allstate. I was able to be one of the largest and fastest growing all states in the state of North Carolina. Actually, we were the top, one of the top in the southeastern United States. Led the state in new auto production and new home production, all the other verticals. Um, Somewhat of a serial entrepreneur. I also owned a marketing agency as well. And I was able to help other companies grow and build their business. In fact, um, I helped two of my clients reach Charlotte's top 10 fastest growing companies list in the same year. So I don't know any other agencies that were able to do that, but that was fun. Also own some independent insurance agencies and different things like that. But yes, so, serial entrepreneur, and I've just really spent a lot of my time growing and building business.
That's really impressive. What made you want to move into the moving and logistics service company?
The moving business in and of itself, there hasn't been a lot of growth um, within the industry. There hasn't been a lot of innovation within the industry. I've always been more of a white collar individual. I've always owned and operated businesses that were white collar. This brand in and of itself, I created the brand many years ago. However, because I was doing other things, I was insurance and marketing and everything. So I just kind of put it on the back seat for a little bit. And a couple years ago, I approached a good friend of mine, Hannibal Coburn, and I said to him, "Hey, you know what? I have this brand that I created this vision for a company, and kind of laid out the vision, the brand, and the plan." And after we discussed it for a couple months, he said, "Hey, let's go." And so we, kind of jumped in feet first, and it's been a fun ride ever since.
Wow, that's incredible. And I guess you have a focus on like serving you know underrepresented communities because I guess it's in Mecklenburg County and they have one of the highest unemployment rates.
Yes, that's correct. So, as a company, one of the things that we try to do, not simply as a company, but as a minority, as a business owner, serving, the community as a whole, one of the things that I try to do is I try to mentor um, guys. I try to, we've sent managers to pick up homeless uh, youth and try to provide them with opportunities to stop that slide. Oftentimes, a lot of these kids that get in situations facing homelessness due to no fault of their own, and oftentimes they just need a hand, right? A hand to grab hold of. And oftentimes that hand makes a big difference in their life, in their family's life. A lot of these young kids, they have families, they have kids, they're kids themselves, and they have kids, and they have a girlfriend. Oftentimes they have multiple kids.
Wow.
So
Uh,
we try to reach a hand out to them, right? Tutor them, mentor them, give them an opportunity, teach them skills, right? Transferable skills. People look at moving and they think, okay, well, you're just moving people's stuff. No, it's not that simple. There's a lot that goes into it. You go into households where, oftentimes it's the most stressful time of a person's life. and the mover is there during that time. So you have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence, because everything may not be going smooth that day for that customer. And the movers, they have to have the emotional intelligence to know how to deal with that customer, right? They have to know how to properly move the items, how to properly quilt and shrink wrap the items, right? How to properly strap them down, how to use all the tools and equipment. So we do that, and along the way, we try to teach some life lessons: the importance of showing up on time, the importance of representing yourself well, keeping your pants pulled up, right? The importance of saying yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Just some basic things to try to help these guys along the way, and pay them a really good wage, to where they see, hey, you know what? I can work myself out of the situation. There's no situation that I'm in that I can't work myself out. Just because you were born in a place or you find yourself in a space doesn't mean you have to stay there. So that's what we try to impress upon the community.
I was, wondering, a lot of underserved communities, there's people who have criminal records, maybe felony convictions. Would you be open to hiring somebody with a felony conviction?
Yeah. So we've you know in limited capacity, we've done it second chance, with guys, about one or two, here and there. We review each case individually, and we kind of look at, okay, well, is this a guy that we feel that we can really help and we can really be of value? Because one of the things that we want to do, we want to help guys, right? But we don't want them bringing the streets into the professional environment. One spoiled egg can, you know, one bad egg can spoil a bunch, right? So culture is very important to us. With that, though, we do and we have, taken on guys who we feel that, as long as they're not nonviolent or anything like that, if it's a situation where guys have had drug cases and stuff like that, we'll come in and we'll try to help those guys. We speak back and forth with their PO, with their parole officer, um, and we kind of let them know, how this individual is doing. Um, um, so yeah, so we certainly do that, and we've been able to develop a relationship with a lot of the officers that work the beat near our office, near our Charlotte office. Mhm.
How has the pandemic affected, like, your business?
Well, the pandemic, it definitely had an impact on our business, and I'm sure a lot of the other businesses in the market. We were able to ride it out. Um, we were able to still grow during the pandemic. It wasn't the same level of growth that uh, we were accustomed to prior to, because we were doubling in size month over month. Pandemic, kind of slowed us down a little bit there to where it's just moderate growth. Hey, but when you're moving and growing during a pandemic, and any growth is positive, so we'll take it.
Definitely. Can you talk a little bit about like some of the obstacles you face? I know you've created other companies. This isn't your first, but like, some of the obstacles that entrepreneurs face just in general and how you overcame them.
I think one of the first things, or a major obstacle that every entrepreneur faces, is fear. When I say fear, it's fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of not meeting your own expectations, fear of not meeting other people's expectations. So I think conquering fear, right? Conquering fear would for me, or probably be, I would say, is one of the most challenging pieces of any entrepreneurship endeavor.
And I guess your company's been moving really rapidly. You've been able to grow. Like, you started off in Charlotte, but now you have plans to open offices in Greenville, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Can you talk about, like, your company growing and
Yeah, yes. We actually, started that expansion. So the Raleigh office is open. We actually opened the Raleigh office on the 1st of June. So we're situated right there in uptown Raleigh. And so we serve, the whole triangle area and a 60-mile radius around the whole triangle, Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Chapel Hill, that entire area. We're going to be opening up Greenville, South Carolina in September. Opening up, either said we're looking at either September or maybe the first quarter of 2022. We'll be in Greenville, South Carolina. Of course, Greenville, South Carolina is my hometown, so I'm really excited about that. And then the third quarter of 2022, we're going to be opening up Columbia, South Carolina. And we'll probably, when we open up that market, we'll probably simultaneously open up the either Tennessee or Virginia.
Man, that's excellent, Abraham. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with me. Where can people like for the areas that you serve, like find more information about your company and reach out to you if they're interested in using your moving service?
Certainly, certainly. You can go to our website. It's www.collegedudeshelpmove.com. That's COLLEGEDUDESHELPMOVE.com. Also on Facebook, Instagram, College Dudes Move. Phone number 833-838-6683. That phone number will reach us we'll go to our call center. And so you'll be able to connect with us regardless of what market you're in. That's 833-838-6683.
Thank you so much, Abraham.
No problem. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
You too.